episode 48. Is the Patriots' September swoon a real thing? And has it begun? And let's talk the Patriots-Jaguars. Oh boy, stay tuned.
Welcome to The Sports Perspective, an American football fan cast about the New England Patriots and also news from around the league. Here is your host, Roy.
Hey everyone, next Tuesday here in Massachusetts, the Patriots got their butts handed to them by the Jaguars. But first, just so everyone knows, you can find this podcast on Spreaker, Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, and any podcatcher app. Like and subscribe so you don't miss an episode. So along with the Patriots and Jaguars debacle, we're going to discuss the Patriots swoon, a.k.a. their struggles early in the season. Is it a real thing? Is it really? So we'll discuss that. But first, we're going to talk some news. And I'm sure you've all heard it. The Patriots have made a trade for Josh Gordon. What can he bring to the Patriots? What do we give up? Well, we give up a fifth-round draft pick, but reports are that he has to play 10 games, and if not, we can switch late-round draft picks. Now, if this kid's head's on straight, and if he can stay off the drugs and not drink, and he can prove that he really loves football, that he wants to play football, and play for a contender, the Patriots might have a steal here. But he has to prove a lot, though, doesn't he? Doesn't he have to prove that he loves football? And if he can do all that, he's probably the most talented receiver we've had in New England since, before, or whatever, Randy Moss. And if you look at his skill set, you know, if he had his head on straight, he could be as good as Randy Moss, if not better. I might be crazy saying that, but man, this dude has all the talent in the world. He can run, he can catch, he can get separation from defenders, he can jump and get 50-50 balls. The problem is, he likes to smoke weed, show up late, and do goofy, stupid things. Crazy. Showing up late to practice and meetings. Total disrespect. And you know the Patriots will not put up with that. He'll definitely have to do a complete 180 to stay in New England. Can he even do that? Is he capable of doing that? If he is, the league better look out. Man, just imagine Brady, him, deep post, deep fly pattern, little slant, running 50 yards for a touchdown. Could this actually make or break the Patriots season? Could this be one of the things that we look at in December and January and say, thank God we got Josh Gordon? Or, holy Jesus, why the hell do we get Josh Gordon? What do you think? We see some stuff in the coming days. Brady's already saying that he doesn't want to put added pressure on him, and that he expects him and wants him just to come in, work hard, do his job, and find a place on the team. Of course, that's what you expect Brady to say. But either way, after that debacle in Jacksonville, things just got a little interesting in Foxborough. So we will have to keep an eye on this situation. And of course, because of the Josh Gordon trade, Corey Coleman, bye-bye, who who last week was a big splash. Hey, we got Corey Coleman. Nice. Go away. Yeah, okay. Yeah, he was expendable, I guess. I'm assuming they got him in here and they realized, yeah, no. You suck. Get out of here. So good luck to Corey Coleman. See you on the other side. Now, the swoon has begun. Or has it? And what do I mean by swoon? Well, you hear the talk every year. You see the Patriots in September, early October. They seem to have this game where they just totally implode, totally struggle, just can't seem to get out of their own way. Seems to happen every year. You know, every year you have a new team, and you're trying to figure things out. You're trying to figure out what your identity is going to be. Are you going to be a passing team, running team, short passing team, deep passing team? Do you have the receivers to pass every down? Do you have the better running game? Can you put pressure on the quarterback? Are you relying on a bend but don't break defense? Blah, blah, blah. So you try to figure out what your team is going to be. And early in the year, teams do that. But the Patriots seem to do this, and they have this game where they just totally implode. And all Patriots Nation, the news media, just freaks out and say, it's over. Tom Brady's done. He's too old. He can't do it anymore. And then in December, all of a sudden they win 10 games, and they're near the top of the AFC, and now everyone's saying they're going to the Super Bowl. It's crazy. But let's look at this and see if this is this a real thing. Let's check it out. Last year, 2017, for instance, if you remember, opening night, the Patriots got their butts kicked 40-27. Do you remember this? Everyone was saying that Brady was done. We need a new quarterback. Belichick was past his prime. You can't trust Belichick anymore. The world was coming to an end. Zombies are roaming the earth. It was a total doomsday scenario. And they won the next two, and then they lost the fourth game 33-30. And those two wins were against New Orleans and Houston. So they were 2-2. But then they just went on a tear, and again, this December, they were like the gods of football. And then you go back to 2016 and 2015, they just started off like balls of fire. And there was no real game where you were like, oh, that's it. They're done. And then in 2014, they lost to Miami 33-20. And then they beat Minnesota 30-7. And then they had a game against Oakland. It was 16-9. And people were wondering, like, oh, what's wrong with the Patriots? They didn't look well against the Oakland Raiders. It was all about how bad the Patriots played. And then there was the Monday night debacle against Kansas City where they lost 41-14. You getting something here? This should be called the Kansas City Swoon. The last couple of times we played Kansas City, they kicked the crap out of us. They've owned us. At least during the regular season. And if you look at all the stats, in all actuality, at the beginning of the Patriots seasons, yeah, they start a little slow. Sometimes. And there was an interesting trend there. But most years in recent memory, they really haven't had many games where it was like, oh, they lost 2 in a row. They lost these 2 games and they get their butts kicked and they got handed to them. Yeah, they've had that one game where they didn't play well. But then they fixed the ship, and all of a sudden, they plugged the holes, and next thing you know, they're in the playoffs, fighting for a chance to go to the Super Bowl. So this September swoon thing, it doesn't exist. This whole thing of, they do this every year, and I've been guilty of saying this also. It's just not true. It doesn't happen every year. They have a season where they'll have one game at the beginning where they struggle. It happens. It's going to happen. And I'm telling Patriots Nation and Patriots fans right now, yeah, we lost Sunday. But when it's all said and done, yet again, they'll probably be 12-4. So everybody in Patriots Nation, relax. We're going to win the division. We'll be one of the top teams in the conference, as long as we stay healthy. And everyone's going to be saying this Sunday, when we beat the crap out of the Lions, which is Sunday night at 8:20 on NBC. That should be an interesting game. Kinda. Little game against a former coach. Two defensive minds going at it. You know who I pick on this one, right? I'm telling you right now, Brady throws 3 touchdowns. The running backs will run for 1 or 2 of them. And their defense will be back. And they'll have 5 sacks. And probably a fumble and an interception. Remember I said that. And all will be well in Patriots Nation. And the reason why everyone's freaking out, let's talk to Patriots at Jacksonville. Well, Jacksonville opened up on fire, which had nothing to do with the 97-degree heat that they had. Hottest game in the history of Jacksonville. Football team, anyway. The heat index was 107. Well, the Patriots can't claim they were just cold and couldn't get loose because it was 1,000 degrees. And Jacksonville actually pulled a Patriots on the Patriots. Opened the game offensively. Bortles looked like Brady. Before you could blink your eye, it was 14-0 Jacksonville. 14-0. And all of a sudden, our defense looked like the one that was in the Super Bowl. At one point, Brady was so frustrated with the offense, you could see him on the sideline yelling at somebody. Jacksonville showed how you beat the Patriots and Brady, which is obvious. The same way you beat every quarterback. Continual pressure. Pressure, pressure, pressure. And then you get in the second quarter, and all of a sudden, the Patriots started finding a rhythm. Dink and dunk, little passes. Brady's getting a little bit of time. They actually had an 8-minute drive. And they kind of stalled and got stuck with a field goal. But then Jacksonville gets the ball. Drives right down the field at halftime. He goes up 21-3. Again, pulling a Patriots on the Patriots. Second half was much of the same. Jacksonville was moving the ball up and down the field. Blake freaking Bortles looked like second coming of Brady. He really made the Patriots defense look like a junior varsity team. They were up 24-3 with 7 minutes left in the third quarter. Then you find out the Patriots lost Chung and Flowers to concussions. Was Chung? I don't think he would have been a big factor anyway. He can't cover himself. Chung cannot cover his own shadow. Not cover his own shadow. He can hit. If you want some run blocking, you want some hitting, Chung's your guy. To cover a tight end, yeah, no. Not going to happen. And then, what was this thing with the crown of the helmet again? This penalty reared its ugly head. A Jacksonville player hit a Patriot. Obviously used his shoulder. Yeah, the side of the helmet hit him in the head. Yeah, sure, I get that. But he still got flagged a 15-yard penalty for a personal foul. So, is the crown of the head the foul? Or just hitting your helmet, any part of your helmet to the person's head? Which is it? Is it both? I'm not getting it, because all I keep hearing is the crown of the helmet, the crown of the helmet. Well, the crown of the helmet was nowhere near the Patriots player's head. If anything, the crown of the helmet hit the Patriot in the shoulder. So I'm totally confused now about this penalty. It's going to have a bad reaction at some point, people. It's going to be bad. I don't get it. I really don't get it. I don't understand it. You know, one bright spot for the Patriots was Sony Michel. Yeah, she played in the game for once. Ran the ball decently. But even he couldn't help the Patriots. And then the fourth quarter, my hero, Tony Romo, who I can't stand, actually made a great point about the Patriots. And it kills me to say this, but I agree with him. And I've been saying this for years. The Patriots need to throw more screens. No, I'm not saying every down throw a screen. But Jesus. When you have these teams that like to rush the quarterback, use their speed against them. Yeah, I know the Patriots try to do that, but geez, do a better job at it. More screens. More screens. But the Patriots tried to make a game out of this, but you could tell there was no way it was going to happen. Bortles had his big game of the year. Played a great game. If Bortles plays like this, without a doubt, this is a Super Bowl contending team. The way they actually played is how you actually beat the Patriots. They played aggressive, physical, with no fear. That's how you have to beat the Patriots. That's how to beat the Patriots. You go full out, see what happens. Now, yeah, they had their little letdown in September, get a little bad game out of the way, whatever. I kind of like these bad games. And you're like, why would you like these bad games? Well, it's simple. It gives Belichick and the Patriots stuff to work on. It shows that any time you can be beaten. And so you got to be ready. So don't freak out, people. The Patriots will get better. They will improve. They'll fix all the problems. In 3 months from now, the 31-20 loss to Jacksonville will seem like nothing. They'll be one of the top teams in the league. One of the favorites to go to the Super Bowl. Now, whether we play here or down in Jacksonville, if we have to face them, that's another whole story. Other teams have more problems. Look at Pittsburgh. You know? Look at New Orleans. There are other teams out there that have issues. So Patriots Nation, don't fear, all will be good. Okay, everyone. That's going to be the show for today. And again, if you're listening on Spreaker, like and subscribe. Apple Podcasts, please subscribe, rate, and review. And if you have any questions, comments, or just want to give your perspective on what was discussed, you can hit me up at Facebook, Roy Brady, email sportsperspective17@gmail.com, Twitter, Roy Brady Jr. Until next week, everyone, have fun.